What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Palantir. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what has really been moving it, and then aside from that, where I see things going. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Palantir is up 1.8%, but looking at the intraday, it has been one very volatile day. Again, this is absolute craziness all over the place, and yet there's been no official news, no SEC filings associated to Palantir today. Rather, the market is kind of reacting to PCE plus GDP, what that does mean for interest rates. And as of right now, it's looking fairly good. So right now there's 11.9% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut for the September meeting. And then for the November 7th meeting, there is a 7.8% likelihood of a 75 basis point cut. So that would be absolutely huge. And as I pointed out in the past, I think big money is really anticipating this to come to fruition, and thus this is where you will see a very big market rotation. So I brought this up roughly a week, 2 weeks ago, on how there has been a abnormal increase in dollar value, not necessarily just with Palantir, but the broader market. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in a Palantir video is because, let's face it, Palantir seems to be the next stock that is poised to go up. Everyone is very optimistic on AI and just what Palantir is doing, so rightfully so that there will be a rotation into Palantir. So what I mean by a rotation, so this is all the money markets, roughly $6 trillion plus is sitting in money markets, and they're just waiting for a very favorable time period to rotate back into equities. And having back-to-back rate cuts would be that kind of catalyst to kickstart a very big rotation. And what I mean by that is what happened between 2020 and 2021. You saw every stock run up significantly, and conveniently that is when there was this big rotation that did happen. So I feel a similar kind of scenario is going to happen once again, propelling a lot of stocks higher. And so conveniently at the same time, you have Daniel Ives, who seems to be the vocal person for Palantir. He did state that he feels around $50 is achievable, and he's talking just based on the business itself and business growth. I'm talking just keeping everything status quo the same. You are instantly going to have prices going up because of that rotation. And this is why I mean, just based on today, over the last 5 days, on the New York Stock Exchange, there is a increase based on the dollar value. Just to go over here, a 17.87% increase, and 16.62% and 11.77% in the CBOE and New York Stock Exchange, as well as NASDAQ. So it's starting, not crazy. So this isn't going to be a event that happens within 1 week. This will be over 6 months, but it is starting. So I just wanted to bring that up and share that with you. Aside from that, though, there hasn't been all that much in analyst ratings. So they do have their earnings in about a week and a half. So I'll kind of talk about that briefly, but analysts will be definitely all over Palantir due to that. Last couple, you had hit and miss. So you had Daniel Ives, again, the kind of voice of Palantir, giving a $35 buy rating. Then on the flip side, you had Keith with Morgan Stanley, 20% success, or $20 price target, and 64% success rating. So all in all, analysts can't really decide on where Palantir should be landing, so we'll just have to wait and see. Like I mentioned, Palantir, their earnings is coming out and slated for the 5th after hours. So it is estimated 8 cents for the earnings per share, and then 652.47 million for the revenue. Over the last 90 days, 7 positive revisions and 2 negatives. So I think generally analysts are very optimistic about Palantir's upcoming earnings. So their last earnings, they were very good. You can kind of see they beat the key metrics that the market cares about, but for whatever reason, I think it just didn't really jive with the multiple and the price point. So I think that's what caused it to go down. This time, I think it might be different. If they do have a triple beat, it should really propel it above $30, as what the LE technicals are projecting. I kind of brought that up in the past, but I'll give you an overview of some data points. Right now, shorts are returning 208,000 shares. I like to bring this up more for analysis purposes. rather than saying that it's a squeeze play or anything. But 4.04% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 77.85 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 1.99%. Moving over to options, 12 million in calls, 7.01 million in puts. A lot of money is getting into Palantir, so definitely something to take note of. Of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above $29 by the end of next week, and then encumbering their earnings, they feel it's clearly above the $30 price. And this is kind of the open interest just to take note of. So right now with it at $27.09, right now there's 8,000 in open interest at that $27 strike price. So definitely should make for a very interesting close, which is around 2 hours. These are some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So it does signal that big money is getting in today. And majority of it is buys based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So obviously, in case you are new to the channel, I bring up a lot of information just for you to digest, such as recent activity, macro, and also in some cases micro events. You have options, shorts, and just kind of where the big money is kind of moving towards. So I do cover quite a lot. Right now on the technicals itself, with it at $27.11, it is trading between this R1 and R2. So 24.43 or 26.43, sorry, is the strong support, and then 27.74 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. So all in all, I think a lot of data points. There's been some consolidation over the last several trading days due to the recent analyst ratings, but still I think it's definitely poised to go up, especially with GDP that recently came out. PCE wasn't all that great as what the market is trying to really portray it as, but interest rates being cut definitely will be the next big catalyst for the broader market. Stochastic, you do see because of the consolidation, it is now at 26, so arguably oversold, so that could really stand to benefit for a secondary run with Palantir. A number of retail investors haven't been doing all that much today. Over the last several trading days, ever since it looks like the 15th, they have been getting out. So all in all, I'm really still a big fan of Palantir, and I've been doing options quite a lot on it, so highly recommend if you guys don't know options, research it. It can be very profitable and beneficial. And with all that, I appreciate all of you guys watching. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, if you've been selling. Take advantage of this promo. It is only up until July 31st. Simply sign up for a new account for $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. That is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said though, I appreciate all of you guys watching and have a good weekend ahead of you.